how does the wokeness of our culture, even in the church, affect your material? Good question. I was asked to speak in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, I don't know if you have been to that little conservative corner of America. I was at the hotel. I'm getting ready to go to do the program. What I do, different comedians have different things that they do before they come out here to kind of get ready. My thing to get ready to come out here is I like a Kind bar and a chocolate milk. That's how I prepare, Kind bar and a chocolate milk. The hotel didn't have that. I said, is there any little store around here that I get a Kind bar and a chocolate milk? Well, they said, oh, a block down the street is a Whole Foods. Have you been to the Whole Foods before? Okay. I go in there, I find the Kind bar and the chocolate milk. And you say, why Kind bars? Because you are what you eat. And I am nothing if not kind. I take my 2 items and I walk up to the little cash register, cashier place. And the person behind the cash register immediately goes, there are self-service lines. I don't like the self-service. Are you with me? Okay, I don't like them. One is they're taking people out of a job, okay? They're just robots without arms, okay, is what they are, okay, right there. And I said, no, that's okay. How are you today, ma'am? I did not realize that ma'am was a 4-letter word in Minnesota. She goes, I'll have you know that my pronouns are not ma'am, not your racist, sexist jargon. My pronouns are they, them, and thee. I said, oh, because at this point I've offended somebody. I want to be a little funny. Let's get this back on track. So I said, oh, wow, multiple names. I said, my sister had multiple names. She had multiple personality disorder. But she was good people. She scans my Kind bar. She scans the milk. And as it goes beep, she goes, you know that humans are the only animal that continue to drink milk after they're weaned. I said, oh, nay, 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 they, them, and thee. I have 3 little cats at home that love milk, adore milk, and they can drink milk and leap from the floor to the top of the refrigerator without a running start. If you can't leap to the top of your refrigerator, maybe you should try some milk. She said, I choose a sustainable, vegan, eco-friendly diet. I said, vegan? I said, we're practically on the same team. I'm a secondary vegetarian. Cows eat greens. I get my vegetables pre-processed in a sirloin steak covered with gravy, which I like to call veggie juice. She said, I'll have you know that mushrooms can be flavored and shaped to be like hamburger. And I said, and gummy bears can be flavored and shaped to look like celery sticks, but ain't nobody doing it. She said, you didn't even bring a reusable bag. Your generation is killing our generation. I said, oh, nay, nay, they, them, and there. A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. I said, let me tell you about my generation. When my generation grew up, we took 1 bath a week, and sometimes we shared the water with other people. Her eyes went like that. I said, we washed our clothes and we hung them on a clothesline that required no electricity to dry them right there. I said, my generation could drink from a garden hose and survive it. Your generation needs water bottles that take 25 gallons of water to produce 1 bottle and 25 years to decompose in the landfill. We took our glass bottles back every week to the store to recycle them, and we got nickels and dimes for them. How many remember that one right there? I said, young lady, with all joy in my heart, you have to understand that when my generation got hot, we opened a window. When we got hungry, we pulled something out of our backyard garden. We didn't call an Uber food chauffeur to deliver our McDonald's fast food meal to our house. When I was your age, we didn't require a tree-killing 7-foot receipt every time we bought gum at Walgreens. And while I'm talking about paper, toilet paper, 1 ply. 1 ply. If you wanted 2 ply, you folded it. You folded your own paper. And it didn't have roses printed on it. You folded your paper and you pretended you felt roses. That's what you did. And while I'm on paper, we had paper maps. We had maps that unfolded so big it would cover the entire front window. You'd be reading the map, holding up the map, and driving through the map right here. And you could navigate from Maine to California and do it with a map. Your generation can't get from the front yard to the backyard on a battery-operated bike without Siri telling them which way to go. We didn't have treadmills inside air-conditioned gymnasiums. We walked to school and we walked home. And when we got home, we mowed the lawn with a push mower. The one that I had actually spun the blades because we pushed it. Anybody do that one? You know what I'm there? Okay, good. Some of my peeps are in the room. And I said, young lady, we could do it all without taking a TikTok video or posting a selfie of ourselves doing it. Now, young lady, I'm going to say this with all the heart that I can because I remember being young and looking at the older generation. But 50 years from now, you're going to be standing in a Whole Foods and you're going to be staring at a cashier that's a robot. And the robot is going to lean in and say to you, Z, we were wrong about the milk. Right there, that's it. We were wrong about the milk. So